Hello everybody, this is RockHound, and welcome back to our Minecraft Let's Play, episode 63. In the last episode, we worked on the upper floor of our tavern / inn here in the village, and this is what it looks like right now. I finished up the roof on this side, and I added these cool little clips corners to the roof, and I don't know, I forget what you call this, like a clipped gable roof. I built my own house, and I can talk about that more in a minute, but that's the kind of roof that I put on it because I thought it had a cool medieval look in real life, and then I realized that none of the roofs that I've done so far in Minecraft have looked like that, and I thought this looks kind of like a thatched roof, so I wanted to do that. It's kind of a classic old English style, and I think it turned out pretty cool. Now I've gone over here to this side, and instead of keeping it all on one level, I went ahead and extended it out again and added another floor, and I think that adds to kind of the, I don't know, the steampunky feel of what we've got going here. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this little middle section yet. I need to get the roof up here on this one and then see where we go from there, I think. And we can go ahead and start working on that. Let me go inside and I'll show you what it looks like right now. I don't have stairs or anything else up there. I just have some dirt blocks right now. So this is the first area here. I really like this look with the ceiling. I know I've said that before, but I think it's pretty cool. And then if we go up here, this will be kind of like the little hallway entryway into these sections here. If this is an inn, these will be different rooms you could stay in. And up here we'll have steps up to this one. Same thing, basically just some more room. And I went ahead and, even though I don't plan on having another level above this, I went ahead and put a basic floor in there. We'll have a little attic space. That'll be fine. And then down here we'll have to do something with this area here. Maybe add just a little roof between the two to cover that up. And I think that'll look cool. I know I said last episode that I was going to finish off the roofs, but I thought I've been doing a lot of work off camera, so I thought I'd jump back in here and work on this a little bit while I talk and do other stuff. I said, I don't know whether I've ever mentioned it in my Let's Play series before, and I've got a couple things to talk about. One is I've been lately recording late at night, and in case I haven't mentioned this lately, I am a proud father of 3 children, which is awesome, but that makes it really hard to find time to record when they're not yelling in the background. And I've got a couple boys who are ages 7 and 9, and man, when they get going, there's no stopping them as far as just the sheer volume of their voices and their yelling. And on top of that, I've got a 2-year-old little girl who's amazing and is starting to talk a bunch, and it can get really noisy around here. And it's not really fair for me to tell them to be quiet so I can record, at least not while I'm doing it primarily just for fun, because I really enjoy doing it. But I'm taking a look at how did I build this? Just right off the edge there. It's not that fair for me to ask them to be quiet so that I can do my fun thing, and so they don't get to have any fun. So I just have to wait for them to go to bed. But what I'm getting to is I've been listening to my recording, and I'm a pretty quiet guy by any standard by any meaning of the word. I'm quiet. I'm pretty reserved, but half my videos I've been listening to after when I'm doing the editing sound almost like I am just talking in a monotone voice where I'm just really quiet, and half of that is because I'm recording when it's 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning, and that's not really an excuse. I need to keep it entertaining, and I want to make sure you guys are enjoying the video, so I'm going to try to keep it lively and be a little bit more, well, I don't know, not sound like I'm falling asleep. How about that? And that shouldn't be that hard if I just think about it before I start recording. Even if I am tired, that's not really an excuse to make a video where I sound bored. Because if I was bored or didn't want to be doing what I'm doing, I wouldn't. Because I don't really have a reason to make all the videos that I do, other than I just enjoy making them. And I have a blast building in the world here, and I really, really enjoy reading comments about stuff that you guys have to tell me about the episodes here. So that's what keeps me going, and if I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't be doing it. All right. So I need to work on sounding like I'm having fun instead of sounding like I'm going to sleep. And I realize that, and I think I've gained a little bit more confidence in myself as far as the videos go over time, so that I can just go ahead and record and say what I feel like saying, and I think they turn out pretty good. But that's not going to carry through if I am sounding the whole time like I'm bored or I'm timid or something with the videos. So just so you know, I'm going to try to sound more excited in my future videos if I don't speak up, or if you have any suggestions or anything, let me know. I'm not shy about it, and I always appreciate feedback. That being said, we're just doing some monotonous kind of roof building here, so I can talk about other stuff. And I was going to say, I started saying earlier that I have built my own house, and that's something that you may not know about me already, which is I'm falling to my death. I live in the central United States, and one of the things about where I live, I'm way out in the country, and I don't have any, there aren't any building codes out where I live, so I can kind of build what I want to live in. But one of the things that I always try to do is to live what they call live a conscious life. That's a good, be aware of all the choices that you make. And one of the things I've tried really hard to do is to be environmentally conscious about what I do. So I eat organic food. I always try to pick the option that's going to cause the least harm to the environment. Even sometimes stuff's a little bit more expensive. You have to do what they call voting with your money. And if you buy the organic food at the store, then they're more likely to make more of the organic food at the store. So I try to be conscious about the decisions I'm making. And one of the things that I wanted to do for a long time was to build an alternative building style house. And by that I mean not a standard timber construction. It's it is basically, the standard house is just that. It's standard. They've got it down to an art of using the cheapest materials to build a house the fastest, and that's what we kind of take for granted as that's the kind of house you should be living in. And if you look at it now, there are a lot of problems with that. There's deforestation. You know, it uses up a bunch of timber. There's problems with off-gassing of all the weird chemicals. There's also, I don't have a crafting table on me. I'm going to make another one. I know the other one's right down there, but I don't want to climb down and get back up. Deforestation. There's also something that they call sick house disease, which is starting to become more of a problem, and that's something to do with the fact that all modern homes are sealed airtight, so that there's no air passage and there's no air exchange from the outside of the home to the inside. So you don't get any fresh air in there unless you open the windows and really force it in. And historically, most houses have, there's little leaks here and there, and there's places where the air can essentially be exchanged over time with the air that's outside. So you get nice fresh air, and stuff doesn't kind of build up. But now they build the houses, and they build them, super airtight, and they do that to make them efficient. But what it does is it makes the air never be exchanged with other air. So basically, you're just breathing the same air over and over and over again, and it builds up, mold spores and dust and all kinds of nastiness. And so, thinking about that kind of stuff, I wanted to build a house that was environmentally conscious, that was cool looking, and was also healthy. So I built myself a straw bale house, and it's pretty big by most international standards. It's a 2,000 square foot house, and I subcontracted out with some other people, which means, like, instead of doing stuff like the drywall on the inside, because the interior walls are pretty standard construction. The straw bales are mainly just the outside wall. Any of the stuff that is just too hard for one person to do, or can not really be done by a single person, I contacted construction workers, contractors that can do that kind of work. So, like it's a slab foundation, which means it's a concrete on the ground. There's no basement. I contracted out with other people to do that, but almost all of the work that I could do, I did myself, which means I saved myself a ton of money, and I know how my house is built. I've got an intimate knowledge of that, plus the straw bale walls. And I don't know, I'm just rambling here while I'm building this roof. The straw bale walls themselves are what's called a super insulated house. So essentially, or not essentially, actually, the R value is so high that you lose very little heat through the walls themselves. And I think a standard house, they use an R value, which is like a thermal rating. The walls range, depending on how it's built, they can be as low as like 13, as high as 25 if it's built well. The walls in my house at the weakest point are probably R50 and up. So I do very little heating and cooling. I have to run a tiny window air conditioner for about a month during the hottest part of the summer, and that cools off the whole 2,000 square foot house. In the winter, I burn firewood in an outdoor wood furnace for for heat. And I tell you what, this year I know people that live in in tiny, or not tiny, in smaller houses than I have, that heat with wood, and they all used at least twice as much as I did. So I am reaping the benefit of having such an efficient house, and it wasn't that cheap to build. And the exterior walls of any house are, approximately 10% of the cost. So you don't save a bunch of money doing it this way. You save money over the long run, though, because of the savings on energy. This is getting too tall, and I don't really like it. Anyway, this whole conversation started. The whole reason I'm talking about this is because the roof I put on my house looks very similar to this. And it was just one of those design choices that I made when I was building it. And I was like, I want it to look like an old-fashioned medieval house. So I got the roof up here, and I did the little clipped corners on the end. I don't know if there's it's like a half-hip roof or something, a combination. I don't know what those are called, but that's the way I built my roof, and it's pretty cool. I like it. However, this roof is going to be, if I keep going, it's going to be like halfway up to my to the citadel up there. So, let's think about this another way. I might have to chop this whole thing down. Okay, let's count the blocks in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so there's 18 there. And if we break that into 3 pieces, it doesn't go evenly. So, let's see. That was 18, right? So that should be the center. That'll work. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to start right here. And I've got to divide it between the two. So let's take this. Will this work? Let me see if this will work. Dang it. Now, if I want to go up this way. If I take this here and go here. Will that work? That might work. We're going to try to go up and meet in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right here. Okay, that's actually okay. Let's see how this does. I'll just go ahead and move on up just a couple. hard for me to talk when I'm trying to figure out a build. That didn't work out quite right. But let's give it a shot and see what it looks like. So yeah, so I'm trying to figure out the build and I'm talking at the same time, but I think that's what I do with most of my videos, is I just talk about what it is I'm building at the time. And okay. I don't really like this because I'm trying to, I don't want to have these meet right here. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'd like them to really be like so. So maybe I will just see how this ends up. I'm not going to leave those like that on the inside, but I can throw some stuff there. And let's see. That's ugly. Let me get all this stuff out of here. Give us a better idea. All of that talking, just I don't know. Let me know if you have any any questions about stuff, because if you're interested in anything like straw bale houses, I could answer the questions for you. And I hope it's not. It's kind of a I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like weird giving personal information, but I think really you guys are probably more interested in the video if I am not just talking about what I'm building. You know, it's good to get to know somebody. And also, you know, I've been around a while. I'm not super old, but if you guys are kids or college students who are thinking about stuff like building houses or buying houses, you know, I like to get some information out there about alternative choices, because if you're just going based on what you see every day, you're kind of living a boring life. Get out there, read about stuff, find out new stuff, and you know, I may be a little bit of a hippie, but it doesn't hurt anything to be conscious of your impact on the world. Do nothing but make you a better person. So keep that in mind when you're making your life choices. If you're wondering about me, this will be a talk about me episode because I'm building a roof. If you're wondering, I have a bachelor's degree in computer information systems. So that's more of a business side of computers versus a technical side like a CS degree, a computer science degree. And in case you're from another country, a bachelor's degree is essentially a 4-year degree. That means I went to a university for 4 years to earn my degree. Beyond that, we have in the United States there's a master's degree and then a PhD, a doctorate's degree. So depending on what you do, a bachelor's may or may not be the terminal degree for your field. By that means, like, what degree says that you've mastered the area, mastered what you're supposed to be effective at doing what you need to do. And for CIS, that's a bachelor's degree, unless you're going to be doing something like teaching, or maybe even, who knows, being a CIO of a company or something. CIO is Chief Information Officer. This roof is not working out the way I want it. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's different. The sides are different. It goes down to the middle. But as far as what I can do with that degree, I currently am a web developer for a university here where I live. And I'm doing okay as far as pay and stuff. It's one of the few jobs like that in the area that I live in, though. So it's kind of one of those specialized fields where you have to be careful to make sure where you want to live has the options that you want. But I have worked as a web developer, a programmer. I worked at a company I actually live about 2 hours now from the place where the city where I got my degree. But I've worked as a programmer, Java programmer. Then I've done Java and JSP, which is Java Server Pages. It's like basically a web programming language. This is going to be weird if that one's like this. Is there a way to do this better? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You will rarely, if ever, see both points of this roof at the same time. But it seems like I could make it even if you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. This side is not the... God dang it. This side has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this side has 9. And that's just an unfortunate side effect of the size I made the ground floor of the building. Then as it went up, it kind of makes it worse as you go along. Okay, well, I am going to wave a magic wand here, and we'll see if we can make this roof finished. And abracadabra! It's done. At least this part of it is, and it turned out alright. They're not quite steep enough to make that clip look good, but woo! Let's jump down, pick up all this junk, and take a look at it. I do want to use some spruce logs and make that kind of framework. So we need to get those. I'll leave that up here for right now. I don't have a good way down. Except for ender pearls, which I guess are kind of a good way down. Pick up all the garbage. Hope not very much of it is despawned. Oh, look at that guy. Hello. How do you like the inn? Good? Oh. Do you want a hug? Sorry. It's not that kind of an inn. How'd you get in here? I'm just glad you're not a creeper. Man. Did he drop something? I swear I saw boots or something fall out of him. Okay, where did you come from? Can they spawn, like... I don't know if... Can stuff spawn up in the air and then fall down? I know, like, just about everything about Minecraft, but some things like that I've never read anywhere. Like, obviously up here, it's dark enough for stuff to spawn. No, I said there. Okay. So if stuff is dark enough to spawn up there, it's probably he was probably back here behind in that corner. Okay, let's clear out some of this other garbage. That or no, is that too high? Ah, that's where you spawned. Up here, I bet. We'll just light everything up a crazy amount and try to make sure we don't end up with stuff that's blown up by creepers. There's no way they could spawn up there. I'm guessing he was up there on that ledge and then jumped down. Alright, we're looking good. They could spawn on the roof and then fall in here too. Yeah, that's a better, more likely possibility, actually. Most of the... I don't think they can't spawn on stairs, but he might have spawned on the very peak if I've got an upside-down half slab up there. Alright, let's come out here. Let's run away, make sure... Yeah, stinking Enderman, leave my stuff alone. Yeah. It's still looking pretty square. Pretty square, but that's alright. I maybe should have done the roof the other way. I hate redoing stuff. I wanted to change it. Oh, I didn't fix that corner. Look at him stealing my grass block. Turning my land into Swiss cheese. I wanted to change up how the roof looked from one side to the other. That's why I've gone through that whole thing and have done the roof the other direction, because I didn't want to have like this one and this one be exactly the same. But looking at it, I might ought to have done that. Oh, I know what I can do. Make it better. Put a dormer out the side there. But let me take a look. 1 second. Yeah, we are pretty much out of time for this episode. So thanks for watching and listening to me talk about random stuff. And you saw how I was putting the roof together, and hopefully we'll get some more of this build done pretty soon. It's taking a while longer than I had anticipated, but it's a big building and I want it to look cool. And I think it's coming together nicely. I'm not a huge fan of this. If it was from the front and it's a pretty distinctive roof, that's a lot of work to undo and redo. But I'm thinking about it. I really am. Because this just doesn't read as a very good roof. It reads as a, and by reads I mean if you look at it from down there, it just looks like a big square. Nothing that impressive. And we want this to look cool. And nobody's going to see it from this side. So I might grab the axe and tear the whole thing down and rebuild it some other way. I don't know. I have to get this part down here covered up and get steps put in and everything else. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.